Hello everyone, welcome back. This is a 12-inch MDF that I screwed up in a previous pour. So we're going to do a messy swipe on it. And we're going to use up some paint in the process, so who knows what colors are going to go on there. So I'll try to show you as we go. I have some phthalo green that is mixed up kind of wacky, a little too thin. So I think we're going to make that our initial puddle. And it's Atelier Free Flow. I need to mix up more of it. So yeah, I'm just going to drizzle that bad boy on the bottom here. And we'll see what happens, you know. Sometimes these turn out great, sometimes they turn out crazy. So Atelier Free Flow, phthalo green. I'm going to try to cover the whole surface because I'm concerned about those edges bleeding through white paint if I do a negative space swipe. So I'm not really going to go for that. So I'm just going to use this guy at the bottom. I love phthalo green, but I've needed to mix up a better batch of it. So we'll go ahead and call that one donezo. And we'll use him in our base. And sorry, my phone was ringing. I also have some other colors that need to be used. I had some teal mixed up and I didn't bring it in here. But that's a pretty decent base there. So I have some PrizmPour Bluebonnet that needs to be used. It's been mixed up for a long time and it really needs to be stirred. So I'm likely about to stir a whole bunch of bubbles into it, which is no bueno. Let's try to get a handle on the bubbles as we go. Otherwise we're gonna have a whole bunch of caca coming through as it dries. This is the only bad thing about using up old paint, is like really to effectively do that. You really need to mix it, let it bubble up, let it sit. I don't have time or patience for that. So while I'm stirring this one, we'll blow on this one. So this is from a failed swipe that I never actually showed you guys, where I had a great idea and it materialized poorly. So the very bottom of the Valspar Reserve I was using for my pouring medium just caused me a lot of problems. I'm still gonna say it's a good substitute for Infinity, but it's just not as good. I'm just trying to get some of these bubbles out that I just caused. So this is Bluebonnet, and it's actually a lot bluer than this. This Valspar Reserve looks kind of milky. It's the best way I can put it. It dries clear, but it looks ugly at first. So whatever. It's one of the reasons I'm trying to use up some of these so that I can mix things again with my regular pouring medium. Sometimes I also just keep way too much stuff mixed up, you know what I mean? And when you can only use so much at a time, it causes me to have major ADD when I go to paint, because like there's too many options, you know? So I figured this would be a good way to use up some paint. Okay. I'm just trying to cover up some of these white spots. All right. Goodness. made just a colossal mess over there. Okay, I should be wearing those gloves over there, and I'm not, so that's a problem. Let me maybe do that, since I'm making a colossal mess. All right, obviously there's some big bubbles in that bad boy. But whacking the little container on the counter helped a little bit. All right, should have brought some interference green over here. Not necessary. Okay. Let's do, so I have some Sweetart that I mixed up a long time ago with Luna. I was putting Luna in random colors just as a demonstration to show that you can add a little color shift by adding some of those bling it colors. What is really cool is when you add a tiny bit of another color to a bling it, like pearl or interference color, that really yields you some cool results. But I also put it in a couple of colors just for giggles. I put it in Love Struck, which is a deep red, and I put it in Sweetart, which is a bright blue. So when I put it in Sweetart, it made it like a frosty blue, very similar to Over the Moon actually, which is a really cool color from Colourarte. And when I used Over the Moon in Operation Use Up Paint, it gave me some really cool effects, and it made all the colors that laid over it just pop. So I'm just gonna pop these bubbles. What the heck? Figured this would be a good way to use up this color, because I have regular Sweetart mixed up also, but this is a good way to use up some of these colors. Just popping some of those bubbles rather unsuccessfully. So this, because I did that, it will have a little bit of a violet shift to it. So it's also really thick, unfortunately. So it might look really similar to Bluebonnet right now, but as it dries and gets resined, you'll be able to see that violet that I added to it, which should be really cool. So this will be like a use up paint swipe. Now, the only thing that worries me is some of these are really thick, and I don't want it to crack. So I need to be careful to not put too much more other color on. We're gonna swipe with a blue-black cell activator and probably a cobalt turquoise light cell activator. Let me add some interest in here. This might be too thick to use. I have some Nebula Star mixed up, which is a really deep, almost like a phthalo green meets a green black. It's a really cool, deep color. It's part of the Glitz collection, so they're more semi-opaque than just transparent. And I've had it mixed up for a long time, so I need to use it. And it honestly is one of my favorite colors, but I have so many, and that's my problem. So this is really dark, so I'm just gonna drizzle it on here for some interest and some contrast, because we obviously have a lot of like periwinkle type blue color between the Bluebonnet and that custom color. So I'm just gonna add this in. There we go. I'm not going to use a whole bunch of it. It's still going to need to be used at a later time but it's very dark. So if I add too much of it with a dark cell activator, it would kind of really take over. So we'll do that. We'll put that guy away for another time. I brought another color over here that I'm not going to use. I really wish I had like pre-planned this better, but story of my life, right? I'm going to use a little Summer Breeze. I'm not going to be able to use it all up though, so that could be a exercise in futility, but Summer Breeze is kind of a frosty seafoam mint green. Oh crap. Almost stirred some major paint snot right into it. So this is a primary element from Colourarte, really beautiful. I just stirred in a whole bunch of bubbles to it, so I'm just going to drizzle it. This will lighten it up a little bit in some places. Okay, there we go. I'm not going to put too much. And I have a lot of paint on, so I'm just going to, at this point, add kind of an accent color and then put a little bit of regular acrylic on the top to drizzle. So this color is French Lilac. This is a primary element. I mixed it a long time ago. I don't think I've used it. So this will add a little soft violet to the mix. Also, I keep forgetting to tell you guys, Colourarte has this super cool thing now, and I have the link below with my discount code where you can save 20%, but has this super cool thing now where Leslie went and made all of the previous colors available in a master library. So you won't see them all when you search under primary elements, but you can search by color group, and then you can look at all of the colors, and oh my gosh, there's like 300 or something crazy, which is amazing. Because if you missed a set and you really wanted this one color and it's not there anymore, you can now go and request it. I'm super jazzed about it. I have some in my cart that I haven't ever played with before, and I think that's super cool. So yeah, don't forget to check it out. And that's also really a good way, let's say you really loved a particular color in a previous set, you used it up and the set's no longer available, and you're like, man, I wish she'd bring that color back. Then you don't have to wait for her to highlight the set again to take advantage of that. So that is super funsies. So when you search, I've also been trying to like highlight colors in like short videos on my channel and on Instagram and that kind of stuff. So because when I became a Colourarte user, I loved looking at other people showcasing the colors before I made decisions to buy them. So that was super helpful for me personally. I can't pick. I think what I'm going to do is put a little Indanthrene blue, drizzle it over the top. So yeah, I'm super excited about that. And all my videos lately have been short because I was sick and I didn't really want to drag out videos with my raspy voice, but I've been forgetting to tell you guys about that really cool thing. So yeah, I've been trying to like showcase colors when I use them in resin or in acrylic, because for me as a Colourarte customer before I became an affiliate, I used to look through videos for hours before I completed orders because I wanted to see them in action, because sometimes it's really hard to really see what they really look like on the website, you know? So I was stoked when I found out about that. I just made myself sound really old by saying stoked, but whatever. Okay, so we obviously have blue, green with some violet in our color palette here. I'm tempted to add some like left field, but we have a lot of paint on here, and it's obviously gonna be very tempted to crack if we don't kind of get with it. So the only thing is that worries me is I'm using a blue-black cell activator, and I have blue on the top. However, I don't have a ton of the cell activator, so I don't have a ton of the blue, so I think it's going to be all right. I'm just putting away some things over here. All right, I'm going to use a blue-black cell activator with a little bit of Cobalt Turquoise Light, because I need to use it. I mixed it up a long time ago and I need to use it. And then I brought all these random colors over here that I did not use. And sorry, I can't keep a train of thought. I'm tempted to throw some Cobalt Teal on the top of that, just for like some insurance, you know? I already have it open, so. Insurance. Plus, who doesn't love that color? And you know, sometimes flinging paint, it's just good therapy, you know? Sick all last week. Supposed to be hanging out with my dad today for his birthday. But I got COVID and then gave everyone COVID. And so sometimes you gotta have a little therapy. When you can't do what you want, fling paint, you know? Okay, so I'm also gonna use, I feel like this is like the longest video ever. But sometimes the process matters, you know? You being part of the process is helpful. I'd much rather listen to somebody talk through their process than whiz through it any day. I know I don't speak for everyone, but. All right, I'm gonna use my Colourarte painting spatula. This guy. All right, loading my palette knife with the blue black, turquoise blue, and the pearl violet cell activator. And then I'm gonna swipe it real quick. Didn't do the greatest job swiping it. In the original recording, I was telling you guys that swipes are definitely easier than blooms. Sort of, in a different way. But they're definitely still not easy, because if you're heavy-handed like me, it's really hard to kind of get the feel for swiping without getting into your pillow paint and all that. So you just kind of learn to adjust to when you don't do it right. So I just moved some of the weight of the paint to kind of drive the composition the way I wanted it. The phthalo green that I mentioned in the beginning that was mixed up, it was kind of watery and weird. Even at the bottom, just kind of did some weird things. So I need to mix up a fresh batch. It's not really the paint, it was just how it was mixed. But anyway, there was a cajillion bubbles because I was using up paint that had been unstirred for a long time. And I kind of screwed up in that one spot that I just came away from, so I was trying to clean it up. So I'm going to give it one final spin and I'll bring you down for a close-up. You have to let me know what you think. I love these colors together, you know, for using leftover paint. I'm a fan. I always like swipes though, and I always like when they looked sort of planet-like. Hang on for the close-up. All right, everybody, so here's our close-up. Really beautiful colors. You see that violet shimmer? See how the cell activators kind of surround those cells? Really pretty colors together. You see that subtlety right there? I love that part. There's still a bunch of stupid bubbles, and when they pop, they'll do stuff like that in some places, which doesn't bother me in a swipe like this. But that violet is beautiful. But when they do the white stuff like that, that bothers me. So yeah, let me know what you think. This was a little bit longer of a video, unless by the time you get to it I edited out and did a voiceover, but I don't know, sometimes there's something about the process, so you'll have to let me know. So let me know what you think. If you're new, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate that. Leave me a comment, let me know you're here. You can see, if you don't want to know what flocculation looks like, you see this edge right here where that green starts to separate? That's flocculation, and that sometimes happens because the pigment in the paint is breaking down either from stretching, being mixed strong, or whatever. That's why sometimes when you have a funky mix, I like to get rid of it and start over.